Hey everybody, and welcome to Poorly Reviewed. This is Sean.
And Asia.
And we decided we want to make this version of our videos just, straight up podcast. Very little editing going on. Just to make it easy on myself, because I was running myself ragged because I do all the editing and everything like that. So I just wanted to, chill out, just have a simple conversation. It might go long, it might go short, depends on what we decide to talk about.
Right. Sorry for putting you through all that, the editing box.
I mean,
get in your wage cage and edit.
I do this for you, for me, for the world. So we just decided we just wanted to talk about things that happened during the week, like how normal podcasts do. And what did we do this week, Asia?
Besides,
surviving a snowstorm.
Yeah, it's been. Well, how many inches of snow is out there? We're in the Midwest, so we're in the middle of snow every other day.
We're in Chicago, to be specific.
Well, I didn't want to dox us, but okay.
I mean, we're in Chicago.
Yeah, we're in Chicago, so we're in but we're in this area that's like right next to the lake and kind of close to the city, and sometimes we get overlooked because we're not quite as important and stuff. But we're right next to trains and everything,
Trains,
so it's just
planes, automobiles.
It's a lot of there's not only construction, but there's also people who just sit in the middle of the street, and then we have to deal with moving cars for the snow, and then we don't know if the snow people are gonna come. It's just a bunch of stuff.
The snow people. It sounds like a bunch of villains that just sprout out of the snow.
The snow people. They snow.
Bunch of snowmen.
It's the ice miser shows up and he's like, I'm gonna just give you a winter, a real winter. We didn't really get much snow around Christmas time anyway.
No,
so.
we got about almost 2 feet out there.
Yeah.
Earlier this week. Some of it's melted by now, but we're gonna get some more tonight. I think. You guys won't know, but tonight is when we got more snow.
Oh, great! Wonderful. We always we have these days where we order food, and just to kind of make it easier on us, and we love pizza. In the middle we need pizza.
We do love pizza.
So I always feel bad making someone come out and deliver pizza.
I always extra tip them. But besides surviving the winter storm, we didn't get hit as bad as Texas, obviously, because we have a good infrastructure.
Bang, bang, bang! Shots fired. So, no offense, I have family in Texas.
Yeah, so, but they didn't build the infrastructure.
Yeah, but it sucks to be in the middle of it. My uncle is
that's
panicking.
Terrifying. Actually, I wouldn't know what to do myself if I was in that area and didn't even have snow.
Right.
For how many years? And you get this historic snowstorm that knocks out everyone's power and gas lines and everything.
Did you see that there's Ted Cruz tweeted last year that he'll believe in climate change when Texas freeze over?
And Mother Nature's just like, well.
Bet. Jesus Christ,
He was trying to get away from that truth. Yeah. That's why he hopped on the plane.
It's so funny. Every time receipts, I love the receipt thing where people are just like, this you? They'll just retweet what they said, and they're like, this you?
Yeah. That's probably the best thing social media has given us lately.
Yeah, that and Silence Brand or OK Boomer. Those are just perfect. Sorry. Yeah. I know OK Boomer is kind of old, but when the boomers see it, they get so mad.
Yes, I do.
They get so upset. And when they were like, I don't think that doesn't make me upset. If you just say that, you just proved that you are upset. We just got a Switch. I've been streaming Switch games. We had to add the games that we purchased previously and add it to that because now we want to play Mario Party and things like that.
We want to invite some people to come play with us. I think that'd be fun.
For sure.
I mean, Nintendo, I think, has some of the best party games that you can do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can't nearly have as much fun playing Call of Duty or any of those other games that you can squad up with than that you can have playing Mario Party or Mario Kart or any of those other
Call of Duty and stuff. That's definitely and our personal favorite Overwatch is definitely you have to coordinate, and that's more strategy type things, and it's like big brain plays and things like that. But Mario Party and like Smash and things like that, that's on the Switch. They're definitely just like you can relax and play with your friends.
Yeah, I look forward to us actually doing that stuff on stream, or at least you rather, and me just piggybacking on your fun.
Oh,
because that's what I do.
And I do like that Nintendo is more open to putting on their console like the indie games like Among Us and other stuff like that.
Among Us on Xbox.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. Like I think weren't they the first one to do that?
I think.
Maybe because when
PlayStation, no.
I don't think it's on PlayStation.
I don't know. I have it on mobile.
We have to check. But the first thing that they show, they advertise and try to push forward, those indie games, Mm-hmm. So, but Xbox and PlayStation will probably be like, we should probably promote it. It's pretty popular. Now it looks like it's doing some, doing a few things.
Doing a couple of things.
Do little things. So we'll promote it, maybe. So also on Xbox, I just downloaded a bunch of games. Like I want to try and get back into the Yakuza game and start with Yakuza 0, since that's a good way to start.
Yeah. I gotta start playing more story games myself. I've been too wrapped up in playing competitive stuff, and I always get frustrated.
You were liking, what was that, Grounded?
Grounded.
That's a pretty popular game right now.
Yeah, I think I might have re-downloaded it again to play it, but I have a hard time playing games where you need to set up bases and stuff like that.
Oh, you have to, it's like
It's like a build your own world type of thing.
Got it.
And the tutorial for the Grounded series, I might have missed it maybe, but I was having a hard time figuring out how to build stuff. No, I didn't skip it. Maybe there's a button I just missed somewhere.
You're like, I don't care.
Maybe.
You just kept on hitting.
I want to kill some ants.
Oh, yeah. I know what to do.
I think that game would be fun to play with some people on stream too.
Grounded?
It has some good role playing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, that was my take. My hot take.
That's your hot take.
Welcome to Sean's hot take.
Well, we did just see a few movies. One big movie that just released on HBO Max, Judas and the Black Messiah.
We did.
It's well done movie, but it's I knew a little bit about the history of the Black Panther chapter here in Chicago, and I didn't know that he was essentially just assassinated. And all the involvement, it's a really thing. I'm not trying to spoil, but these are factual things that you can find.
It's history.
Yeah, this is like real things. So, but all the performances were perfect. Like everyone was so believable and natural, and everything about it was really well done. But it's just you leave last story just feeling betrayed and angry.
Yeah, you do, and. I mean, I learned very little about Black history growing up because they just didn't really teach it. Most of the stuff that they did for Black history has just been like excerpts, like footnotes within textbooks of the bigger things.
Yeah,
and it's learning these things at this age is just frustrated me.
Yeah, I mean, just recently in Utah, they are opting out of teaching Black history.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah, it's just, I mean. That's not news. Most schools do. Mm-hmm. Most schools that are predominantly white, they just like, this happened, A, B, and C happened, and that's it. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. How about that, Christopher Columbus, though? What a savior.
But it's just like, because people that teach it, they're just like ashamed of what, the America came from, and it's just these are facts, and a lot of people who gloss over that and. When they go to school and they gloss over it and then they go to college and they learn more about it, they get offended. And it's like, if you're a person that believes in facts and not feelings, these are facts. Like it doesn't care about your feelings about these facts. So, yeah, we knew, like, a lot of people in my school, because I, grew up in not only a Christian type school, but, predominantly Black, that was just, we talked about everything, even when we got into American history. you know, they made a point to tell us that there was the amendment that people who were considered 3/4 of a person, meaning black people, weren't allowed to vote. And it's like, please show me 3/4 of a person.
Yeah.
What does that mean? So things like that. So
I'm just trying to think back of my history textbooks that I read growing up. And the only one I can really think of there's the Boston Tea Party, where they specifically mention how many people of color were killed during that. And then the Trail of Tears, which that one sticks with me specifically because it was a little bit more in depth, and they kind of talk about what happened during it, but they don't talk about the reality of what really happened during that whole journey that they forced those people to go on.
Even the displacement of Native American people, there was even more. I need to show you Dead Man by Jim Jarmusch. He doesn't go into it too hard, but there's a Native American character named Nobody, and he's called Nobody because he was basically displaced from his Native American tribe and put into an American school and taught about American things. And then when he grew up, he realized he should go back, and because of that, he didn't have his original name, and that's why they called him Nobody. And there's a lot of things, like he mentions that basically white people moved in, started businesses, and won't trade with Native American people, even though they stole like tobacco and corn and everything like that. And then as a peace offering, they would do the blankets, like as a type of thing to keep them warm during the wintertime, but they were full of smallpox.
Oh, I don't know if that was necessarily they tried to give them smallpox in the herd, or if that's just because Native Americans weren't familiar with that particular infectious disease that came from Europe.
Yeah, that could be it, but also like I forget what it was. I have to show it.
I can't remember if which was the truth.
Yeah, I'll have to show it to you, but yeah, so.
But the movie itself, go back to that topic, was, I mean, like you said, it was well acted, well directed. Everything about it was well done. You really felt for each one of these characters in their own way. Even the Jesse Plemons FBI character, when he's talking to the
J. Edgar Hoover,
like he seems at odds with the decisions that the FBI are making, but inevitably he ends up going through with it.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you're stuck in this situation, I mean, with the Bill O'Neill, played by Lakeith Stanfield, he is basically, his back is against the wall.
Yeah, the whole time.
And then Jesse Plemons' character's back is against the wall too, in a way. And then he kind of just like just swallows this pill of like, I gotta be this person.
Yeah.
And therefore he kind of puts on a face every time he talks to Bill. I pretty much see. And yeah, like
he tries to be his friend.
True, but also he also keeps his distance as well.
Well, yeah, he's
He's welcoming to the point of like, we're on the same page here, and I'm trying to get you to understand my point of view on this situation, and how I sympathize, but this isn't the way you're supposed to go about it. Quote,
yeah,
unquote.
there's still a class.
Classism, yeah.
Yeah, so a certain level of classism, or just a betterment. He thinks he's a little bit better than.
I mean, definitely, because Bill is in a studio apartment on the south side of Chicago, and this guy is like
the size of the room we're sitting in right now.
Yeah, like, and then Jesse is living in a house, like 2-story, 3-story house.
Yeah, and the juxtaposition they do for that shot, like you see him sit down on his little cot bed, and he's in his entire room, and with his kitchen right in front of him. And then the next scene is literally like Bill O'Neill walking into this 3-bedroom,
he's like,
6-bath
house.
house.
A sitting area, shit.
So he's chomping on the cigars. Like, I could get used to this life, because I think that's the allure.
Right.
Like, he thinks that with his what he's doing now is going to help him advance and get the status that the Jesse Plemons character has. And I understand that what's the word I'm looking for?
disenfranchisement?
No, the goal.
Yeah.
God, I couldn't think of the word goal. Jesus.
It's all good.
Goal.
Yeah. So and that's what a lot of people look for in somebody. Like, I hate to compare it, but like I was watching something about cults. They always kind of go for someone who's in this. He's alone. He has very little, and just the enticement of something that can give you something more is enough to draw you in. And I mean, it's different for, I'm not trying to compare it to cult activity, but it's definitely something that a person who is very perceptive can see that someone is in a situation where they can use them to their advantage, which with these rewards,
I also like the way they introduce each character. Mm-hmm. Like you see Fred Hampton's character first, or you don't see him first. Actually, you see Hoover first. Mm-hmm. And how you introduce the FBI and how they view the Black Panthers and any other activist who's trying to stand up for equal rights. Mm-hmm. And then you see Lakeith's character as essentially a con artist who's trying to boost cars, and the way he goes about doing it. And then I'm not sure how Jesse's character, the FBI agent, meets them, I guess, because he was impersonating being an FBI agent. That's how he got on their radar.
Yeah, they pulled him over immediately.
Well, yeah, but he gets the cops are not going to call him the FBI unless there's a reason for the FBI, and he was impersonating an FBI agent, so it made sense. Mm-hmm. So they see that this guy has ingenuity, and that's why they make him a CI to go into the Panthers and try to get information on Fred Hampton and co. Mm-hmm. And I find that all that, like the way it threads together, so seamlessly.
It was very easy flow to that. Yeah,
I like that so much. Mm-hmm. And then you get clear perception of everyone's goals in the story. Like, you know what Fred wants. Mm-hmm. You know what Deborah wants.
Yeah.
You know what Bill wants. You know what I don't know who Jesse Plemons' character's name was.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. White man. And then like the gangs and the leaders of the gangs and the all the other various groups within
the crowns.
Everyone has clear goals, which is how you write a movie and how you write characters, and that's what drags you in more and more. And it's just so much fun.
It didn't waste any time. No time was wasted.
I said fun. I didn't mean fun.
Yeah, but it's not a fun situation.
It's just a good way to.
In movie speak.
It moves you. It brings you in. Is all I'm trying to say.
And in movie speak, yes, this is like an intense and entertaining way to tell this really, really disheartening, really rage-inducing story to me.
It is very rage, especially the way it ends.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I was not expecting the events to be shown the way they were, and I think they did it for a specific feeling.
But when the movie was like the trailer came out and everything, I was like, oh yeah, Fred Hampton, I remember this, and then I went back to refresh myself, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be really, really mad.
Which makes sense that you were very hesitant to watch this movie with me.
It's just, okay, I just have a problem, like, okay. I just think that stories, about Black people in history are always tragic, and those wounds are not healed for me. Like, when I read the history, like, I educate myself before I go into the movie, and I'm like, okay, what happened? Because this does not end happily at all.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's just that's the problem. That's why I hesitate with, like, I appreciate these actors. Like, these actors are some of my favorite actors working right now, and even Jesse Plemons, Martin Sheen, all these actors, I love them, and I love them doing their craft, but it's just the subject matter. It's just too raw, and especially since we live in Chicago too, and it's something that I've been taught about before. So it's just hard for me to see it happen, because it's like especially when they mention Emmett Till, it's like everyone knows, and everyone's been pretty much anyone in Chicago who is Black basically just knows and feels that story so like perfectly, and just it's so intimate. So that's why it's hard for me to watch it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I cut you off.
No, you didn't cut me off. I was trying to. I almost cut you off. I was just gonna say. Well, I totally lost my train of thought. Actually.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You needed to say what you needed to say. Jesus, I lost my train of thought. Just move on.
Let's just move on.
Just move on.
But anyway, it is really good movie though. And I can appreciate it for as a movie standpoint. Like a lot of people have problems with movies with that's dealing with tragic things, and kind of
there's a way you have to handle
exactly, because it might be you're trying to tug at the heartstrings for just to get accolades and stuff. But no, this is a good movie. Like
the movies that depict Sharon Tate's death, like
yes,
actually do it, like The Haunting of Hilary Duff, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ralph.
That's exploitation as fuck.
Yeah, all those movies that just exploit the actual real life tragedies is just absolutely ridiculous. But something like this tells the story as a way to educate people on
neutral.
And it's neutral.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, they show great things that the Black Panther Party did, because they've been dissolved since 1970.
They still have community outreach programs, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, like it's mostly for youth and health and everything like that. But actual civil rights gatherings it's been dissolved. So to show that there's these negative things and then there's these positive things, just as facts, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and unlike you, I didn't have any information going into this. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't realize it was a true story until it said it was a true story. And just learning about it, knowing it was in our hometown here, and all this stuff, just like we said earlier, it just makes you so mad that people would do something like this to people just because they were scared. Like that much fear
and don't understand.
Don't understand. The fear level that just is what scares me, because it's still prevalent today, obviously, and it's even more widespread than, I mean, obviously it's probably before that, but it's bubbling on the surface now more than ever.
Because everyone can get information so quickly.
Exactly.
And see everything so quickly.
And it's
a benefit, but also it's also a disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of all the social media stuff, but it is
okay,
what
boomer.
it is. Yeah, I'm kind of a big boomer around here in these parts. But I mean, if I had to give this movie a grade, I mean, what are we going, out of 10?
I think it would be 9 out of 10 for me.
I would say probably, 8 or 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I
know you're trying to articulate your thoughts.
I don't like when things kind of jump around a lot.
Right. It did jump sometimes.
Sometimes it was jumping around too much, but they did have scenes where it kind of flowed, and it was able to build tension within scenes and have payoffs that some movies just can't really do very well. So, I mean, that's why I give it such a high 8 or 9 out of 10. But yeah, some of the editing was a little bit of jumping around just a little bit, and I understand what they were doing with the interview segments. They kind of broke it up into chapters. I don't think it was really needed, that they were so small, so it's so minute.
Right. I think because that was a PBS interview, Eyes on the Prize.
The end of it
was actually him.
The end of it, I thought was you needed it, but where Lakeith was playing him as the documentary, I don't think that was really needed.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But that's just me.
Yeah. I think they kind of added that in because, for people who remember it and recognize it and can probably say, oh, my God, they got the framing exactly right.
Got it. Perfect.
Yeah, I remember this. Oh, my God. That looks just like it, I think that was kind of like a nod to the actual documentary. Documentary.
On that note, do you want to switch to something a little bit more lighthearted?
Oh yeah,
Let's talk about Overwatch.
Oh yeah, the Overwatch 2 the information came out, and I was just watching it again, and I'm excited. I'm hyped. I think they might be doing a little too much, in my opinion, because they're like, oh, we're gonna have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of like PVE stuff, or PVE this and PVE. Because I think at first, like, because people liked the events that were the story stuff. They thought that was fun and interesting. And it was always just like once, what was it? Every couple of months.
Well,
They would
be archive events usually is what they would do. So they had 3 or 4 of those.
And it'll be the same one.
As like pilot program for what they're trying to do now.
Yes.
But, I mean, when they're talking about it during the BlizzCon conference, they were specifically saying how they thought that was kind of stale, one note, and just only so much you can do. So they added variety, they added randomness.
There's missions inside it.
They added missions within missions. The maps are basically huge and you can move through them all, play different characters.
And additions to the original maps.
Yeah, and each character will give you a different aspect of that particular mission. I mean, all that sounds good and well and stuff. But let's see it.
Give me a demo. I'm excited. I think I'm gonna get it for PC. But the thing is, I want to transfer my skins over, so I'm not sure. My minuscule amount of skin. I kind of fell off Overwatch because I have it on console. Don't add me. I have it on console because I saw people playing it and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Oh, it's a shooter. I'm not great with shooters, but Overwatch was one of the ones that I felt comfortable playing. I'm not going to be playing Call of Duty anytime soon, but you never know.
You played PUBG with us a couple times and you got some kills.
Yeah, because they were messing with you. There was this one time, and when I played PUBG for like the second or third time, Sean got downed, and these guys tried to swarm him. I came out with a shotgun. That's all I had. Like I had a shotgun and a pistol, and I was like, get off of him! Get away from him, you bitches! And I saved you, and then it crashed. And I was like, protect my body, because I was trying to I was basically playing a healer in PUBG. I was just like, I'll res everybody.
Speaking of the PUBG, I have to tell this story every time it comes up.
No.
So.
No, how about no? We stop right there. Anyway, Overwatch 2 looks great.
I gotta tell it.
No.
I gotta tell it. It's hilarious.
No,
I'm healing on a bridge in PUBG, for those who know it, in the original map, Merengue.
No.
And Asia is trying to switch her guns.
I don't know the controls.
And we play on Xbox, so Y is the is the button to swap your primary and secondaries. And I don't know, actually, you didn't have your gun out. You put it away on accident. And you're trying to get your gun to come back out. And I said, press Y. Or I said, Y. And you said, how do I do it? I was like, why? And she's like, just tell me how to do it. Why? What do you, stop asking. Just tell me how. I'm like, why?
No, you said it. No, you were like, why? Why? Like a question mark.
Eventually, I started messing with you, but the first couple of times was actually me being genuine, telling you how to do it.
No, you said, I was like, hey, I need to do something and reload my gun and switch around. How do I do that? Which button is that? You're like, why? Like, you're like,
exactly, why?
No, you're like, why? And I'm like, because I need to switch my gun around. And you said, why? And I'm like, because do you want me not to shoot or protect or what's going on here? You're like, I need to know the button. What's the button? Why?
I did start messing with you after a little bit. And my buddy Matt was playing with us at the time. You could just hear him in the background just going... And he had to eventually explain it to you, press the button, why?
And I was like, oh. And I just jumped off the bridge.
You did.
I said, fuck this game, I'm out.
Anyways, back to Overwatch.
You just want to embarrass me, that's all it is.
I needed to tell the story, it's hilarious.
It's not that funny.
It's hilarious.
My feelings. It was funny. I was like,
I wish I had it recorded.
Shit. Oh, shit.
Here we go again.
I'm too dumb. I'm too dumb for this game. I don't know how I played the game before because I forgot. I guess I completely forgot. It was like a few weeks in between of playing it, and I forgot. Anyway, Soldier and Thighs.
Soldier and Thighs are thick.
Yes, thickums.
I think they are mechanical. It's either that or she has like boosters like how Lucio does.
I think her legs are just straight up mechanical.
You think?
I think so.
I don't know. They could be like how Lucio's is because his legs are not mechanical. Those are like pants he puts on.
I think she has cybernetic enhancements, kind of like Doomfist, because Doomfist has the mechanical arm, but also there's like little.
He's got some augments.
Yeah, like something up there.
A lot of people in this universe have augmented abilities.
Her eyes are also augmented because of those things.
She probably sees far and wide.
Yeah. She seems cool. It looks like she's like the surrogate, like she's taking over Soldier 76's spot.
Essentially. Much. I think she always was like.
And then Soldier 76 is out being Batman.
Basically. Bat Daddy.
Bat Daddy Beard.
Bat Daddy 76.
I like Widowmaker's braid. I think it's cute.
It's so thick. Like her hair is just the thickest.
She can't feel nothing, so it's fine.
It's like wow.
Her hair is gorgeous.
She could beat somebody with that like Bianca does.
She is Bianca. That's what Bianca said. I'm a cop that. Like I put the braid. That's so cool. I hope she could whip somebody with her braid.
Yeah.
I hope we see her whip someone with her braid in the Elimination Chamber. Is she she's in a match. She is in a match.
She's with Sasha.
Right.
Bianca and Sasha versus Nia and Shayna and whatever.
Shayna Baszler.
In my opinion, not that anyone cares, the Elimination Chamber is coming up, and I don't like the fact that they're putting the women's title, the person who has the women's title,
in a tag
team match for the tag titles again. They just did it with Asuka and Charlotte. They did it before with Sasha and Bayley.
Yeah.
And they did it previously to that with Becky and Charlotte when they were trying to get it off of Asuka and Kairi. So fuck that noise. I'm out. I'm only watching it is because Bianca and Sasha are in it, and that's it.
Well, it worked before, so it's gonna work again and 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 one more time and one more time for the one more time, and then after that again, and then what we gonna do again? The Elimination Chamber with tag team title matches, again and again, and they don't really have enough women to be. Like have a tag team division anymore, and they keep splitting up people, and it doesn't make sense. They're
slowly trying to build their tag team division by combining people randomly. So now Charlotte and Asuka are a team. Like that's solidified.
Naomi and
Lana. Like everyone's it has paired off.
Because Lana was with Asuka, and then now she's with Naomi.
Yeah, they all paired off now. They all have their own little set teammates.
Yeah.
Which I said would be a good idea, but they just still have so few people on the roster to make that work, and they don't
need to call up more people from NXT.
I mean, the titles can go across brands, even to NXT. Like Shayna and Nia were just on NXT and faced off against Danielle Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Mm-hmm. Then they have a tag match coming up this week, which they promoted. So, I mean, I guess Sasha and Bianca are going to lose the Elimination Chamber match because they need to be on NXT the following week.
I don't know what's going on.
Anyways, back to Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch.
I'm excited for those new maps. Rome looks great. The Canada map.
Like, Blizzard's polish for, like, the design and the artwork for the maps and character design is really, really good. I like it all. What?
No, I agree.
Because it's everything they do has a certain just polish. Like everything looks just great.
I like the engine that they work on. I know it looks cartoony to some, but I think it's a nice mesh of reality and futuristic.
It's definitely
with the
stylized.
Animation style.
Yeah, I know some people like who prefer the Call of Duty, PUBG type thing.
Yeah.
But even that type of game has got a little bit of a stylized thing. It's desaturated. It's looks like a PS2 game because it's open world. And
that's PUBG you're talking about.
Both of them.
Call of Duty looks a lot better than PUBG.
Well, yeah, Piccadilly looks like Piccadilly because when you went to that map, I was like, is that Piccadilly Circle? It looked just like Piccadilly
Yeah,
Circle.
and I said yes, and I quit.
And
that map sucks.
But it looks it's so condensed. It's like so tight.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of room to move around or anything. I like stylized looking games. Stylized looking games with an interesting look and design really do catch my eye.
That's why Mario is still prevalent today.
Yeah, and then just like the challenge of it, like, well, Mario games got challenge and style and creativity, and the same thing with Overwatch is the strategy challenge. There's this creativity and reimagining the world in the future, and all of the things that they're doing to make it look like this is where we could be. And
this is where we're going.
This is where we're trying to go.
I also like the idea that none of the developers wanted to have cars that had wheels, so all the cars hover.
They float. We all float down here.
The only thing I've ever seen that actually has wheels is Roadhog's bike.
And Junkrat's wheel.
Yeah, his actual wheel.
His actual wheel. That's on his that he ripped tire. They kind of do have wheels though, but they're like curved out and it's got a little propulsion on
exactly. It doesn't. They're just like, let's just turn these.
You just
nail it. What else was going on with that? All the new looks look cool for the ones they show. McCree, Widow, Reaper.
It's kind of funny. Like they just hey, we looked back at one of our concept arts and we were like, let's just do that.
That looked better than what we ended up doing the first time.
Now that we got this cloth engine, we might as well go back to the one that looks more crazy. And then they basically, for Farah, just added more white because she was all, pretty much her whole armor was all the color that you chose. And then they're like, well, let's make her look more classic and put some more white and silver on there. And then make her visor see-through because she's like, flying in the sky and stuff.
I'm wondering if they're going to, because they talked about they are upgrading all the combat audio and stuff. I wonder if they're going to try to put this in the current live service game.
Probably not.
I feel like that's one thing they might be able to do with an update prior to the launch of Overwatch 2. Because they're looking to do things to keep Overwatch relevant until they release it. And they're talking about doing stuff like that. So I feel like that would be something they could do. Maybe bring in the new UI that they have so people can get used to it before they drop it.
That might be a good idea, for sure.
Stuff like that I think would be kind of interesting. And the UI I think looks pretty crisp. Everything looks...
You know what I think they might do? There might be a day where they drop here's a game mode to this is Overwatch 2 taste.
I feel like
in Overwatch 1.
They could definitely put that into the arcade.
Yes.
Try try push. Here you go.
Yeah.
Because they have the new game mode push.
Right.
With the Omnic in the middle pushing it either way. And it's tug of war essentially for the payload. And they added more because they're getting rid of the 2 CP. So Hanamura map and all the other ones that have 2 capture points. They're going to rework those maps to be a different game mode essentially. So you can still play on those maps, but they're going to have different objectives. So it's not, because everyone hates 2 CP apparently. I don't have too big of a problem with it myself.
I didn't have a problem with it.
But all the competitive folks are just like, fuck 2 CP, fuck that shit, get rid of it, Jeff.
And Jeff is like, all right, fine. And then the guy who was on the Overwatch video, he was like, I just play competitive. And I agree. So we gonna do that. All I do is play competitive, but my friends don't because they pussies. No, he did not say that. He just was like, I want to play with my friends more. And that's definitely how I feel too.
Definitely. It's going to be more fun for people who are not accustomed to playing it. Like my brother, he enjoys playing it, but he's not good at it because he hasn't been able to play it at that level.
Right. And all his friends are on something else.
Yeah, we've been playing it for 5 years, so we know every little nook and cranny of the game.
I think he was doing pretty good.
Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah. Side eye. It's pretty it works just like pretty much any other game with aiming and stuff. It's fine.
You get this, but you have to know the differences between going into a battle as
with Ash or soldier.
Yeah, knowing the difference between which characters you can actually 1v1.
Yes.
And who you can't. Yes. You don't want to be Diva and go up against a Zarya.
Oh yeah, no, you get melted.
You dead. You dead as fuck.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So people
sure.
having to learn all those things, it just some people just don't want to do it. And I can understand that because I don't like to learn stuff for like League of Legends and WoW and stuff like that.
Well, you gotta
It's just too much.
Oh my god.
Too much.
Guys, the whole point of games is the challenge, and you do have to learn and everything like that. If you can't just go on Mario and be like, I'm just gonna run around. You have to learn to jump, wild jump, do all types of stuff. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Oh my god.
Mario is the easiest game.
No, it's not. It is not an easy game.
It's just a platformer.
Yeah, but you also, if I made you play that new, what's it called, Bowser's Fury, you would be like, I don't know what this is. How do I do this, that, and the other?
I'd figure it out pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
When
I get it, I'm gonna see you try.
Then you start streaming WoW and you tell me how fast you learn how to build your kit.
I will take my time and learn it because I like RPG games, and then if you are building a tree for a character, I've played RPG games. I know what to do.
Like I used to play League.
It's not gonna be easy, but I'll get to learn how to do it.
I used to play League, and essentially I would just Google. It's like, what's the best build for this character? I'd have it pulled up, and as I got the things, I would just plug it in.
That's cheating.
I didn't know what I was doing, so I didn't.
It's trial and error, man. You
can't
can't just cheat.
I need to help my team win.
You need to learn.
I was learning. This is the
learning
best.
how to cheat.
This is the best way to do it.
Learning how to cheat.
I learned that this is the best way to do it.
If anybody in the comments just say Sean's a cheater. He's a cheater, pumpkin eater.
I am not. Mm-hmm. What? No. Was there anything else you want to talk about with Overwatch?
I wanted to talk about a movie that I might be doing a video essay about because.
But nothing else on Overwatch?
No, I don't have anything. About Overwatch. I'm really excited. I think it looks really good and really fun, and I really want to get back into Overwatch, but right now it's just everyone's been playing it as long as I've been playing it, and they're just like spawn camping and trolling and all types of stuff, just being, aggro as hell. So it would be fun to see, go into a new game and kind of have a fresh slate, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know
there's so many Smurfs on that game right now.
Yeah, I know there's going to be people who still know all the tricks in the trade, but there's going to be different things going on, and they will have to learn alongside me. So that's why I'm excited. Like, I'm pretty much just I try to play DPS and stuff, but it's just, everybody just
you always end up
jumps on it. And I like tanks and healers, but I think I might be a healer main. Probably be a pretty good Mercy.
I usually just select all of them. I always just get either tank or healer. It doesn't matter. So, and usually I have a higher percentage of wins with playing tank or healer than I do playing DPS. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's because I'm bad at playing DPS or I just can't rely on the actual tanks and healers that are on my team. Probably.
They're trying to be heroes and stuff that Reinhardt charges off the map every single time he spawns. Zarya is just like, heal me, and then she runs into the enemy spawn. All types of stuff. Orisa gets singled out because all the DPS scatter. It's all types of stuff like that. I remember when I started playing it for the first time, and I accidentally went into competitive, just by having like, what is this mode, and went into it, and I was like, I did pretty good. I was like almost plat, and after that, people were just like, now we just need to keep her down.
Push on down.
You get out of here. You're not part of our club anymore. But I was doing pretty well with Widow, Diva, and there was one more.
Mercy.
No, it wasn't Mercy, because like in competitive, you will get picked out for being, you just have a big ass target on your. No, it wasn't. I don't know who. Brigitte. It was Brigitte. I was doing pretty good
when she was awesome.
When she was strong.
She's still pretty strong, but she was even stronger back then.
Yeah, like she was like, but that's when she had that single little health pack she could throw. And now that she has like multiple ones.
I remember when we were playing competitive regularly, you and me, and then we would just join teams and And that was fun times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, until they got toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a movie you want to talk about?
Yes. Speaking of toxic, this is the movie with a toxic relationship. Well, it's sort of toxic relationship. I don't even know if it's a relationship. It's a weird movie that I'm probably gonna do. I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a video essay about. It's called Birthright, and I think you saw. I think you saw pieces of it.
Yeah.
I just
thought
think
you
it
were
was
going to talk
funny.
about the anime movie you watched the other day, not Birthright.
Whisper of the Heart?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we could talk about Whisper of the Heart.
We want to talk about Birthright. You could talk about both.
I'll talk about, let's start with Whisper of the Heart, which I haven't seen. Because I like Studio Ghibli films. This was probably one of the really early ones from, I think, 1980s, 89 or something like that. But it was the first Ghibli movie where I saw that it was really in the middle of the city, like in like a modern day Tokyo, and or out bigger city in Japan, and I was like, what? Like, because usually the character, like I remember Kiki's Delivery Service, she lives out in like a more European farm area, and then she goes to a European style city. And then it's kind of like more fantasy. Every kind of Studio Ghibli movie I've seen has had this fantasy element, but this was like a real slice of life type of movie with a person who has a very fantastical imagination, which brings in the fantasy, but with like a daydream, like a dream. Mm. And I really enjoyed it. It was very interesting. It was very like something that I wasn't used to, that I haven't seen before. So I thought it was really good. I'm sure a lot of people who are listening already seen it, since now it's like on HBO Max, or just went out and saw it and bought the DVD. When I was growing up, I didn't see that there was I don't think they had a lot of copies of Whisper of the Heart. Whenever I would look for it, I've seen The Cat Returns first, which is a different art style that kind of was not, what I'm used to for Studio Ghibli films. But that was the story of this girl who was voiced by Anne Hathaway, who finds the Baron, this cat statue, and she gets she gets taken to the cat world because she helped the cat prince's fiance, and helped them. And then the Cat King was like, you're so kind, I like you, I'm gonna change you to a cat and marry you, or actually marry you off to my son. And the Baron is trying to save her, and it's a cute story. You have to see it. But Whisper of the Heart was like that same character, but
the cat,
the Baron, yeah, who's voiced by Carrie Elways, and it's just adorable. And I like that there's like this romance dynamic where I was like, okay, she's gonna fall in love with this guy. He shows up and he was just like, oh, she makes a song from off of the old country, the country road.
Country road.
Yeah, that's the first thing that opened the story. The music starts and the credits are going, and Sean is like, what the hell? This song will get stuck in my head.
It did. It's still in my head.
Yeah, and then she uses that same melody to make her own graduation song, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. She doesn't. They don't show her sing it at the graduation ceremony, but it's a really cute device.
She performs it at some point.
She sings it with him and his family comes over, or family friends.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't really watching. I was busy doing something else.
Yeah, you were working. You were in a wage cage.
Oh yeah, I was actually working at that point. My day job.
Yes. It's gonna be alright.
I know.
So it was a treat. I really enjoyed it. I'll watch it again. I gotta make him watch Princess Mononoke. That's the next thing we're
gonna have to go through all the Studio Ghibli films.
Yeah.
I mean, you like a lot of them, and I have never seen most of them.
They're really good.
I think I've seen Kiki's Delivery Service with you.
And Spirited Away.
And
which is probably one of their best movies.
It's definitely the most popular.
I mean, that's the one that got the Academy Award.
Yeah, I think that's the only two I watched with you.
I feel like Spirited Away. Like, all of these movies are perfect, like, modern fairy tales. Like, but it's got the spirit of the old, like, traditional fairy tale.
I prefer the 2D animation. So seeing stuff like that is just, it looks...
all drawn by hand.
Yeah, it's so great.
It's really beautiful. Like, my dad was the person who got me into anime. My mom was the one who got me into games, and then him even more so into games. But he was the one who was like, he showed me anime, but he also was like, can you appreciate that these are people who drew this by hand. This spaceship in space, all this detail is drawn by hand. Like, I always think about the scene in Spirited Away where Chihiro is going to see Yubaba, and she has this ornate, crazy, beautiful office hallway with jewel-encrusted doors made of wood and this everything. And it's just a scene that it's like about 10 seconds. And she's pulled through. Like, the animation for her, the way that her body moves, the direction of it, the way that this quote unquote camera is showing this movement and everything. It's just gorgeous. It's a gorgeous movie.
Yep. I got nothing else to add to that except for yep.
And the same thing with Whisper of the Heart. Seeing this city and the way that the boys' neighborhood is like the rich neighborhood, and you can tell, like, it's quiet, it's spaced out, the houses are huge, you know, it's perfect. Her apartment is cramped and dirty, and she's in this area that's really populated, and you could just tell the differences with where these characters live. Her best friend lives in like a suburb type area, but it's also like middle, income. You could tell where everyone's mind and everyone is and in this society. And like little things, like I like that there's this point where I didn't really know a lot about growing up. I didn't really know a lot about anime, like Japanese culture. And a lot of things about Japanese culture is that it's about caring about people before you care about, take care of yourself, and like being more courteous. So there's this scene where her dad is coming home, and they're like in this really tight hallway to go up to his apartment, and this woman's coming down the stairs, and they kind of like stop because it's only one person at a time, and she's like, oh, good morning, good evening, and she's like, oh, hi, and he just stops and lets her go down the stairs, and she's like, oh, thank you so much. It's something that is so mundane. It's something that you can see people do all the time. But to put that in there to show that he is a good person and very nice and considerate. And later on, that does come back because the main character, Shizuku, she's doing something that is in their culture, well, in anyone's, basically for anyone, not focusing on school and just doing something that is your passion is kind of like, a parent will really rail against that. But he's like, well, okay, if you want to pursue your passion, do that. And then let's see how it goes. And that's just something so nice and kind and just so,
I've been finding myself watching more Asian movies, Korean, Japanese, Laos, all those movies, they're coming out of there. There's something about the way they write like characters. Like, I mean, some of them are obviously tropes. Yeah. But I feel they always put a spin on those tropes different from the way American movies make it, because they feel American movies are some characters are just
flat.
Nothing going on behind the eyes. But every character I feel like they do for movies like over there, they all have a clear motivation, which is the word I was looking for earlier when I was talking about Judas the Black Messiah.
It came back.
So, like, watch the court.
Sorry.
So movies like that, just in stories, TV. Like I was watching Alice in the Borderland, and I watched Sweet Home, like everyone else did on Netflix. And I'm finding more and stuff because it's obviously not being recommended. All these
Netflix is like, oh, you like that, huh?
all these Asian movies, mostly Korean, I believe. And then just finding like the way they tell their stories, it's just so much better than American sometimes.
Yeah.
Like they're just better. They're just better. They work on such a different budget than we do.
Everything has to count.
Everything counts.
Yeah.
All the characters just feel real and not extravagant.
Right.
I appreciate that a lot.
I think with American movies, or
Even with
TV
animation
show,
too. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Like I feel like animation, but American animation, all animation is expensive. Animation kind of has a little bit more heart to it because everything it counts, and if it's not successful, you might not be coming back to continue the story anymore. But like with like Studio Ghibli films, like I'm saying, like this, they're making a big leap of faith with like spending this time and energy and money on something like this. So that's the same thing with those Korean TV shows and everything like that. It has to be really, really good, really, really thought through in order for the story to be told. Because you never know if they're going to keep putting money into it, and especially when it's going overseas, they're like, let's make it interesting, make it pop, and then put our culture in it, and try to have them understand some of the culture and some of this mythos to be palatable for everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
I also think I was trying to get at, they deal with more sensitive topics, and they do it within animation. Disney does some of that stuff too, like Big Hero 6. They talk about overcoming like grief and stuff like that. And same with Coco and Soul, trying to recognize life. But those feel like kind of base level. The way that they do stuff over, like doing anime and other movies in that vein, they talk about the person and the mind, and sometimes even go into like depression and how people this day-to-day life and how people feel in their lives. And I feel that is something that is inspiring.
Yeah.
So.
And you also feel like a deeper connection because it's like you recognize.
Yeah, and you can't.
All of that.
There's just sometimes you can't connect to the characters they create stateside, or you feel like I feel like
they're
it's different.
Invincible.
Yeah.
You know. Which is cool.
Got that plot armor on.
Yeah,
thick.
like there is, which is cool and valid, but at the same time, I would prefer watching, Whisper of the Heart, like where she's dealing with, her whole thing was, what is my motivation? What is it? What do I want to do with my life? She meets someone who's like, I got a goal and I want to do this, and she's like, I don't even know what I want to do. And when she does find that inspiration, she's afraid to share it. But when she shares it, she knows that she's going in the right direction. And then in order to make her craft better, she has to go to focus on school, even though she thought her goal was more important than school.
Yeah.
But in order to get it better and to have a career in that, you have to learn more.
I wonder if it's because American audiences don't have the patience to sit through something like that. They don't have the big blue beam in the sky at the end.
I think we do. I think because
the mass audience.
I mean, even the mass audience loved Parasite, and that was a lot of.
I don't think the mass audience liked Parasite. I think the community that we're part of love Parasite. You and I, we go to the theater a lot. We used to. We watch movies a lot. I went to film school. You were at school for the arts as well. So we see that and we respect that and we like to watch it. Like, other people want to see bang, bang, boom, boom, ha, ha.
And then there's always stuff for people like that. But even then, if they want to see like the boom, boom, pow, like Superman this, Superman that.
That's why Marvel is so huge.
I mean, but even with Marvel movies, I feel like they have some uniqueness about them.
Sure, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's superheroes fighting
bang,
crime
bang,
and saving the world.
Bang, bang, boom.
Rather than a small, tight-knit family trying to survive on nothing.
Exactly. Well.
You want to talk about Birthright too real quick, or you want to save that for another time?
I just got to say that it was a weird type of witchcraft cash in. Maybe next time we'll talk about it because it's something.
I just had one other thing I want to talk about.
What's that?
Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat!
It looks good.
I had so much fun watching that trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like they didn't really give a good breakdown of what the story is going to really be about. I feel like it's going to be like two separate stories with Hanzo, Scorpion, and then Bihan's Sub-Zero.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't think, honestly, I think he's just gonna be a quiet, big bad, heavy for Shang Tsung.
From what I read, he is like a secondary villain essentially.
Yes.
I mean, he works with Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
As to track down the heroes to try to eliminate them prior to the tournament.
Terminate.
Him and Melina essentially, from what I read.
They're the heavies.
Yeah. But Hanzo and Bihan has such a personal history, and they open with that as it looks like.
Yeah, that's probably going to be
learning Scorpion's past, yeah, and then how Bihan Sub-Zero was the person who incited all that because of the clan wars. And I want to see that in live action. They did it kind of in the web series. If anyone's ever watched that, which I've
seen parts of it.
It's pretty good.
With Michael Jai White was Jax, right?
Yeah.
That was a good casting decision for the series.
I think he was trying to get in this one too.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
But everything about all the choreography, all the effects and stuff, I mean, most of the effects look pretty good, and the characters, all the casting looked pretty much spot on for me. I'm curious what they're gonna do different because when you
have no Johnny Cage.
There's no Johnny Cage.
I'm sure there's gonna be like a Johnny Cage like poster or like Johnny Cage starring in something.
They might do something, just have like his name over it or something, because I don't think they ever cast him. If they did, I know they were talking about either doing Ryan Reynolds or Scott Adkins. What were they talking about?
What they're gonna do with this new character?
Oh, yeah. So I don't know what they're gonna do with the new character, Cole Young. I don't know what they're gonna do with Kano. I feel like they're setting him up to betray the group rather than be a villain outright.
Yeah, I think he's probably gonna, or he gets stuck in Outworld, and that's when he becomes, what is it, the Red Dragon, Black Dragon?
Yeah, because usually it's Sonya Blade and Jax tracking down Kano.
Yes.
And he's their big bad that they're always dealing with.
Elusive.
And maybe
villain.
it's the same thing. Maybe he's some kind of mercenary and they're tracking him down. They had to team up and but he ends up betraying them in the end.
Like their group is like, we track him down, and if for a plea deal he has to work on their side.
Yeah.
And then he's like, nah, son, I'm out.
Son. And then, like I said, you got the Cole Young character who is new.
Badlands, yeah.
He's a brand new character that has nothing to do with past lore.
He's just going to be a guy that we're going to have his point of view as an outsider.
Yeah, he's the person that we're going to follow through into this realm. But usually the main character is Liu Kang. So I'm curious how they're going to incorporate Liu Kang into this story when he's technically not the lead character, or what they're projecting to be the lead character.
I feel like they might switch gears. If this is successful and they do a second one, then Liu Kang will probably be the main character of number 2.
Maybe.
And Johnny and Liu Kang or something. I don't know.
From what I've been reading, the theory is that Cole is somehow connected to Hanzo. And maybe Hanzo died. He's in hell.
Because he gets the hellfire.
And the connection with Cole brings him back, and then maybe at the end of the movie he becomes the new Hanzo essentially. Like it takes on his body.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So then you still have a Scorpion, and you'll have the Bihan's brother, which I forget his name now. The other Ice Daddy.
The new Ice Daddy.
The good Ice Daddy.
Yeah, it was Blueberry Ice.
But I mean, as you can see, I'm pretty hyped for this movie.
It looks really good. It looks, but it does. You notice that it seems like the camera work is kind of tight and kind of close up.
It looks like
it's like they're hiding some of the choreography off of the out of camera.
I feel like they did that purposely to make it look like the games, because the game is kind of tight. Try to keep everything on screen, so they try to give that the same feel.
And then to hide what else is going on for the
because their budget might lack.
Yeah, but there was like also a problem with like the depth of field. It felt like everything was really small. Like everything was kind of claustrophobic a little bit in certain scenes that I've seen.
I think they tried to make it. They didn't want to make it look grand. They wanted to see like this is
realistic.
This is realistic to this particular world. And maybe in the next one you'll see like more open scale battles and stuff like that.
And also,
just say introduce Shao Kahn and stuff like that.
Also, Goro Gang, Goro Gang, Goro Gang.
Goro Gang, Goro Gang. I've been seeing so many people knock the CGI Goro. I thought he looked great in his little bit that he had.
It looked, yeah,
he wasn't practical. And anyone who says the practical effect from the first movie was it can't be surpassed, I ask you to go back and look at it.
We can always do better. We can do better than that.
Because it was practical, he was basically this lumbering, like, heavy.
Yeah.
Where Goro is actually, he's very fast. I mean, he's strong, obviously, but he's fast. And he's got 4 arms. He's not just...
Yeah, he's not just a
giant.
What's it called? The Thing in the Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Sometimes, I mean... I guess when people like practical, like when we love The Mandalorian, I like the practical Yoda, Baby Yoda.
No, I agree.
Yeah, that's perfect, and it's perfect because of his size and what he is, and he's supposed to be a tangible thing. Goro, was he like 9 feet?
At least 9 feet.
4 feet shoulders.
So someone needs to
big ass arms.
Someone would need to be on stilts. They would have to have animatronic.
They probably did. They probably did the thing that they do for the Hulk. Like they actually put him on stilts and do like the motion capture.
With the motion capture. Like the Hulk and Thanos, which they both look fantastic.
Yeah, they look good.
But I mean, it's WB, so they're going to be using all the DC effects house. So I don't find their effects to be that great.
From what I remember of the bits and pieces I've seen of Batman versus Superman and Justice League, is like, okay, that's CGI right there.
Yeah.
Steppenwolf is not real.
No, he doesn't even look that great.
Yes.
But I feel like if they were able to use the same effects that they used for Avengers, like with, like you said, Hulk and Thanos.
Doesn't WB also work with Weta?
They do, and I hope maybe they use Weta here. And if they do, great. I mean, they did film in New Zealand.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just thinking, like, back to the practical Goro, of someone, like, practically being in a suit.
That must be so bad. Like, listen, okay, when you said practical Goro, I was thinking of, like, Rawhead Rex, like, type of look, like, that kind of, like, impressive makeup, but, like,
as long as it's not moving too much.
Yeah, it's, like, it's impressive makeup, but then you start to, if you look at it too long, you can see that this is an, animatronic mouth, or this, that, and whatever. Like, it's just, they won't be able to show it too much because they have to have, you have to show some illusion to, whatever. And the arms wouldn't work necessarily.
The animatronics.
Yeah, but it would be like the most sophisticated animatronic, probably. I mean, I'm sure they can. Than Baby Yoda.
I'm sure they have some sort of technology that'd be able to be.
It would have to be like 7 people, just like how. Okay, I keep on bringing up the Mandalorian, but there's like 4 people that control Baby Yoda. That, like, treating it like a puppet. The arms and moving him around. But also his expressions and his face and even his ears, his eyes, his mouth are all different people moving it all together. So imagine that for, like, Goro. The actor's arms are probably going to be like the middle ones. And then the top ones would be like one person for each arm, And
then the face. Then the eyes.
Eyes, everything.
Nose.
And then the guy has to be on stilts.
The guy will be on stilts.
You know what? They probably tried. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, a studio probably tried.
They could probably do it if it's not an action scene.
Yes. Yeah.
They might be able to get away with it. Like,
who knows? Maybe they did. Maybe in some scenes where he's just got dialogue and he's like being
Maybe they were able to do it. But I mean, I feel like the effects work for Hulk and stuff were so good that you don't need that. You can do it. You don't need to do that practically, and it'll look even better.
Yeah, and then even with like the latest, what was Endgame, where he's interacting in an environment that you can see the Hulk. You were convinced he's there. It's possible. So I don't know.
I think
maybe it's because of the action scene itself. It was like, oh wait, that's a little.
Maybe. I think people think back to like Predator and Alien, where
it was an actor.
There was actors in those suits. But I mean, the alien suit in the first one was
you barely
saw it until like the very end. The second one, obviously, there was multiple aliens, which they corrected that so they could effectively produce more of those suits for people to be in. And the Predator, I mean, he's the size of a person.
Yeah.
Goro, like you said, is like 9-10 feet tall with 4 arms. How does someone practically do that?
Yeah, and it feels like something might be I don't know, sacrificed. You know what I mean? Like the mobility in his arms.
Exactly, the mobility. He's gonna be lumbering.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah, and then like the expressions in his face. There's something's gonna be.
I'm gonna put a snippet of the Goro expression.
Yeah.
It looks so robotic when he does it. He's just like.
Like and smile.
his eye shuts basically. His mouth goes. His cheek goes up. It looks ridiculous.
I don't remember. I haven't seen the original Mortal Kombat movies in a long time. I guess I gotta re-educate myself before I see this new one.
It's not necessary.
I want to see it. I want to see you. Your soul is mine. I remember that because I used to. When I was a kid, I would go over my friend's house, and she had 2 cousins that watched all these horror movies, all this stuff. He was like, "Let's watch Mortal Kombat," and I saw the first one, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool," because of that. It was grand. It had a lot of grand like set pieces and stuff, and some production value. And then when Shang Tsung. I forget his name is Harry something. Insert here. I like that actor a lot, and everything that he's been in, and I like that they brought him back for the game a lot. Like he's probably the best part. And
the Shang Tsung in this trailer looks great.
Yeah, and the previous Shang Tsung, just awesome, and I thought it was a really effective parts with him, and. Yeah, I mean, they didn't show him much in this one, so I'm kind of disappointed.
He was in like 3 shots.
I want to see more.
I
hope he says, your soul is mine.
He probably will.
Cool. Yeah.
Only other thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that Reptile's in it. Looks like he dies, but I assume they're gonna be like a reptile race, so we're gonna see a bunch of different reptiles. He's just gonna be kind of like the henchman.
What if we saw the Collector, the new character?
I don't think they're gonna show any of the new ones. I was actually kind of thinking that Cole Young was ended up gonna be the young
Shiraiyu.
Thank you. That guy from Mortal Kombat 10. I can't remember his name now. It's there with a K. I want to say it was like Kushida. Takeda, thank you.
Takeda?
I'm thinking of Kushida the wrestler.
That's one of your favorite characters, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's cool.
I'm thinking he might not end up being Takeda. They're just gonna recast him as Scorpion's offspring rather than being Kenshi's. Because he's Kenshi's son in the
maybe he's Kenshi. Maybe he gets blinded. Ooh.
Maybe Kenshi's real name is Cole Young.
I don't know. Anyway, no, I was gonna say, speaking of the game type thing, it was something that I was like, what if they do? Hang on, my brain will get it. I forgot what I was gonna say because I'm old. No, what if they show? Dang it! It's something in the game that was like very interesting that I thought they might put in the movie. I don't know. It'll come back to me after the fact.
All right. Well, let's talk about my last 2 things about this trailer. Jack's losing his arms by a different person again.
Yeah, because it was Squanchy, or what was it? No, it's Shinnok.
It was Ermac. Ermac in the latest iteration. Before that, Girl ripped him off.
Oh yeah.
So now Sub-Zero's taking those bad boys in the movie.
Oh yeah.
But it kind of it fits in good for the movie.
Yeah.
It's lore. I like that.
That makes sense.
It gives a better connection between Jax and Sub-Zero's.
Oh, now I remember, because you said your boy Cabal gets killed. I'm so sorry. What if Shang Tsung resurrects him because he can?
Oh, you're talking about Revenants?
No, just like flesh pit type shit.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because Melina's made from, the flesh pit thing, and that's the reason why Cabal's face is messed up. Maybe in this movie verse. Remember, because that's like the whole thing, but his face isn't even messed up.
Cabal's neck gets broken in the trailer.
Oh. Well, he gets resurrected and becomes a heavy for Shang Tsung or something. I don't know.
My man Cabal. The fastest man in the world.
I thought that was the Flash.
The Flash is not in this universe.
Oh, okay.
Cabal dies.
Oh, he got
the
caught.
Fastest man in the world.
He got caught. The fastest man got caught by his
bullshit.
Shoulder, his collar, and got
bullshit.
He's probably gonna get resurrected in the flesh.
Melina dies in that trailer too.
She do?
Mm-hmm. She gets blown in half by Sonya's laser beam cannon.
Bye, Melina.
So
all the fans of Melina are probably like, no.
So when she's a clone, so she might come back as a different variation of herself.
They'll clone Cabal.
Maybe.
They'll clone Cabal.
That might be how everyone keeps coming back after the tournament is they get cloned and they get indoctrinated into the ranks of Shang Tsung.
And the soul's his soul.
Soul is yours. Give me that soul. Yum yum.
Soul.
But I think that's all I want to talk about Mortal Kombat. I mean, I'm so hyped for that movie, and I'm gonna go to the theater to see it. Even if I can't get into a theater, I'm gonna break in.
You break it. Just it breaks the window.
I don't care if it's on HBO Max and we can watch it day one.
The film to watch it.
Sheer will.
Okay.
Sheer will.
Okay. Throw that shit up. Nobody's there. Just jump back behind the concession stand, figure out how to turn on the popcorn.
Exactly.
Get your popcorn and soda. There's no syrup in the soda machine. You're just gonna drink the water.
The soda water.
Soda water. You're gonna run back into some sort of screening room. Don't know where the film is.
Exactly.
Just gonna be like.
Just gonna put them on all the screens.
You're just gonna be like holding up to the rail, like no.
So we do have another video coming out by the end of the month here. I think it's going to be released next Friday or this coming Friday.
This is a video that he wanted it to be the Valentine's Day special.
That's what I wanted to mention. It was supposed to be the Valentine's Day special, and I couldn't get it done in time. And it's going to be done in time for this coming the 26th of February. If y'all are listening to this at any different time. You might have already listened to this and it's already out.
Yeah.
In which case, go check it out. The link will be in the description. The movie's called Gremlin. And it is, it has a love theme. That's why we try to release it for Valentine's Day.
It's a familiar love, love, and lust.
Yeah.
And
you can always
betrayal.
You can always wait to watch it next Valentine's Day if you want.
No, watch it now.
Watch it now. Watch it now. Please.
Share it with your friends, family. Whoever likes weird movies. It's definitely a weird movie. It's just kind of hard to really find where was their mind on this, because they took a pretty popular word or type of fantasy creature.
They didn't. I'm telling you that was happened by the people after the fact, like whoever bought it. It probably was called Love Box or some bullshit, and then they're just like, look at that little thing. It looks like a gremlin.
But there's
there we go.
No, but there is a line. He's like, I don't know what it is. It's some sort of gremlin thing.
Oh, that's probably how they did it.
I'm just saying that I think you said before, I think they were trying to bank on people accidentally watching it because it's got the name
The
Gremlin.
marketers, that's how they do it. They see the word Gremlin. It's like, oh, there's a new Gremlin movie out? Shit, I'm going to watch this. And then
they rent
halfway through the movie, you're just like,
they're banking on that grandma or grandpa that's like, ooh, my baby likes the Gremlins.
Where the Gremlins at? And then you're 30 minutes in, it's like, well, I can't stop now. And then you finish watching it.
I'll be like, Grandma, this is not Gremlins. It said Gremlin on it. I thought it was a Gremlin. Let's just keep watching and see what happens. And then the Gremlin comes out and then slice somebody's throat, and he's like, whoa, yo. It's so bad. They tried though. Like there's some actors in there you can tell that tried, and there's some actors in there that are very tired.
Yeah, so check that out when it comes out, please. Mm-hmm. I'm begging you.
I think you'll.
I'm on my hands and knees.
That's too much. That's too much. Now you're scaring them away.
Wait, no, come back. Come back. What?
You keep on scaring them.
Anyways, thanks for stopping by and listening to us ramble. It was fun. Hope you had some fun listening to us ramble.
If you like stuff like this, please let us know in the comments below. Like this video, and if there's some things that we talked about, like, are you excited for Overwatch 2? Or, the Mortal Kombat movie? I'm sure there's a lot of hype for that.
Yeah. Did you like Judas and the Black Messiah?
Yeah, just tell us what you think, and we'll be back with more.
Yeah. Hope you guys are staying warm out there.
Yeah.
Bye.
Is that it? What is that? Oh, it's got a mound at the bottom.
Yeah, that's a squid.
It's scary. I don't like.
Oh, it's okay.